Welcome to Massage Chair Relief Live, the podcast designed to educate, inform, discuss, and critique the relatively new massage chair industry. Join your host, Dr. Alan Widener, to become a massage chair expert and avoid multiple pain points in your search for the perfect massage chair.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and welcome to our massage chair industry update for October 15th, 2025. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you find some value in the things that I share with you today. First off, we are mid-October right now, which means we're not too far away from the shopping rush for products for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I wanted to just let you know that we are already receiving notifications from some of our suppliers that there's shipping dates that you need to be aware of if you want to get your chair in time for either one of those holidays. Now, the big one is, of course, is the end of the year, December 25th, Christmas. That holiday season is our busiest, and we and the companies that send us the notifications for shipping deadlines, they're giving us like the third week of November to be sure that you're getting your chair by December 25th. Now, there are two types of shipping. There's curbside delivery, which usually takes anywhere from a week to 10 days. And then there's white glove delivery, which can take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. So the earlier the deadline, usually that is applicable to the white glove, or what they call white glove, but the in-home delivery and setup. So just be aware that time is flying. I mean, we're halfway through October already. It's incredible when I even think about it. But we're well into the fourth quarter and into the fall winter session. So be aware of the dates. The problem is not just the dates and getting the chair shipped to you on the right deadlines, but getting shipped the proper deadlines and getting them on time. It's also beating the rush for models, colors, availability. We always find that as people wait longer and longer in the buying process before they want it, colors are gone, models are, and when I say gone, like they're out of stock, models may be out of stock altogether. And anyway, so if you want a black chair and all there's available is a taupe, then you're kind of stuck. So anyways, be aware of those shipping deadlines, and think about ordering your chairs early. And I'm not talking about now, even though you're welcome to order now, but don't wait until the last week or two before Christmas to buy your chairs, because it's going to be, you may run into some logistical issues. And logistics being shipping on time, delivery on time, colors and models availability. Okay, so our primary focus in our business, besides educating the customer, and as you can tell from my YouTube channel and our social media platforms and our blog, I'm real big on education and making sure people are saved the hassle of mistakes made when buying a massage chair. And there's a lot of things to consider, and you can call about anything that, if you ever have a question about something that might seem shady or you're not sure about, or you want to make sure you're getting a decent chair or a decent having a decent buying experience, feel free to call. You can always reach us at our toll-free number, which is 888-259-5380, or call any of our 4 stores, and you're welcome to talk to one of our managers. But anyways, I just want you to be aware that we sell new chairs of the major name brands, but be aware that there's also we also have open box pre-owned chairs available, and people return chairs and we resell them. We have floor models that need to be turned over for new models, and we're going through that right now with our stores. Our California store has quite a few chairs. A lot of our returns go to the Southern California store because of the space we have there. So we have plenty of chairs there. I think at the beginning of this week we had 9. Now we're down to 7 models available. But they are deeply discounted chairs, and they're premium chairs. They're good chairs. They're not cheap chairs, but the prices are fantastic. So, for example, a lot of those 7 available chairs right now are under $5,000, but they retail for anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000. So I want you to be aware that there's some great pre-owned offers, and if you want to see what we have, you can go to our website and go to the new promotions tab on the navigation bar, and go down to the and select the pre-owned directory. And that's pre-owned also meaning open box, also meaning previously used, also meaning returns or floor models. So take a look at those. There's some fantastic deals there. And we need to clean house and turn over. So please feel free to check those out and call if you have any questions about any of them. Also, we have a bunch of new models on our website and some on our massage chair store floors, but we have new models that are quite a few have come out recently. For example, we have the new Ogawa BioVision, which is a sister chair to the Cosia Quantum. We also have the Titan Advent. We have the Osaki Yoga Flex, which has the foot component goes up and down, so it's kind of a stretch of the ankle and foot massage. We also have the new Osaki Tryon Flex Duo, which has the separate legs that go up and down like this, not as one unit as the majority of chairs do have. We also have the Daiwa Roomba and the Daiwa iLift. And the iLift, if you remember me talking about this before, that is a chair. There's a chair that actually mixes a massage chair with a lift chair. So if you have trouble getting out of your chair, and this might apply to seniors, it might apply to people who are in significant back pain and have trouble getting out of a chair. This is a lift chair that'll lift you up out of the chair, so it's easier for you to get upright. But we have those models and others that are on our website now. So we're constantly adding new models. We are selective in the chairs that we add. For example, if a chair comes from an unknown factory, from one of our suppliers, we don't want to post it. We don't want to carry it without knowing a little bit more about the factory. There's some factories that I trust completely. Those are the factories like the Ogawa factory or the EasePal factory or the Rotai factory. Those are factories that we sell. A lot of our chairs are made in those factories, and they're very good factories. And there's other good factories. Those aren't the only two. There's hundreds. I would arguably say there's hundreds of factories in China that build massage chairs. But those are those two are good factories. When I see a chair that comes from that factory, one of those factories, I'm usually very encouraged by it. And the reason I worry so much about the factories that they come out of is if they come from a cheap factory with cheap components and a poor customer support and poor parts availability. And that's the problem we run into with a lot of these really cheap chairs that you see online that are for sale for, $29.99 or maybe $25.99, $19.99. Usually they come from smaller factories made with cheaper components. The problem is we offer a lifetime labor warranty. I don't know if you're aware of that. Most people are, but we have a lifetime labor warranty for all the chairs that we sell. And I don't want to sell chairs that are kind of junky or made in poor factories, because I don't want to be paying through the nose for years to come for chairs that are poor quality and breaking down all the time. So it's a bit of a selfish view, but it also is thinking in terms of what the customer would like. The customers want chairs that don't break down all the time. It doesn't mean your chair's not going to break down, even if it's made in the best factory in the world. But you don't want it. You don't want to have a chair that's problematic all the time. Okay. The only other thing I really wanted to talk about, there are some sales going on right now. I won't go into specifics or particulars, but there's Osaki, Ogawa has sales. But anyways, and those sales are the advertised sales. If you come to the showroom or give us a call, we have in-store sales as well that you can inquire about. And those are not published, but those are more in-store and over-the-phone type sales. Now, this has been coming up lately a little bit, and I want to discuss this. You've probably heard now of 5D chairs. Now, 2D chairs, as you know, or may not know, are chairs that when we talk 2D, 3D, 4D, and 5D, we're usually talking about the roller mechanism, the roller track and the roller balls that are that are going up and down the track, massaging your back. 2D means that, and that's two-dimensional. 2D is dimensional. 2D is X and Y axes. If you look at a three-dimensional picture, there's you can see the height of the picture, you can see the width of the picture, and you can see depth of the picture. And 3D images are much more pleasing to the eye than 2D images, or maybe not much more, but they're more engaging. But now rollers can do the same thing. Rollers can go side to side and up and down. That's the X and Y axes. The rollers are moving, and that's great, but it does not go forward and back. That's what a 3D is. The 3D, or the third dimension, is forward and back, what we would call the z-axis in physics. So now you've got rollers that go up and down, side to side, and forward and back. That's 3D. Well, then they came up with a 4D moniker, and this is fairly common now in our industry. And I must say, massage chair industry is famous, in my experience, famous for coming up with terms that may not actually apply in a correct translation, but they are using terms that to connote certain features and functions of massage chairs that may not be fully embraced as legit. So, for example, I've talked about this in the past. AI, artificial intelligence. Massage chairs are now calling the health sensor, and health sensors have been around for a while. I remember the Ogawa Master Drive AI first came out, or that we were aware of, came out with this finger placement slot where you put your finger in the armrest and it'll measure your pulse and perspiration and stress levels, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a program associated with that health sensor that will monitor this while you're getting your massage. Well, they would call that AI, but it's not really AI. AI is quite a bit more complex than that. But massage chair companies now are using AI as a term to discuss or to describe this health sensor feature, which is now more and more common in massage chairs. We're seeing more and more of them. But that's not necessarily AI, but it's a great term. And others will call, some lights on the on the sides of a chair, like on the panels, they'll call that chromotherapy or light therapy. And if you've ever had light therapy or heard of it, it's a fairly engaged and it's a little more complex than just shining some lights in a room, an ambient light on the side of the panels of a massage chair. There's lights that create different moods and are used therapeutically and in some healthcare facilities. So they call that chromotherapy, and okay, fine. But we massage chair industry is kind of notorious for using these terms to describe things that maybe aren't the full meal deal when it comes to those terms. Now, so anyways, I talked about 2D and 3D. Then 4D came out. 4D is not a dimension really, but it is the rhythm or the time that goes into the roller. So they can go slow, they can go fast, slow, and that is the change in the speed and the rhythm of the rollers in the auto programs, and they call that 4D. So the fourth dimension is time or rhythm, and that's because I kind of objected to that term in the beginning because it was not really a dimension, but now that's what we call it, and so it's 4D. So I jumped on the bandwagon because half the new chairs we carry say they're 4D. So we got to roll with it. But now they've come out with, and before I talk about the 5D, one company we knew called their chair 8D because it had 8 rollers. So that was their 8D, but that's not true. That just means you have 8 rollers. It doesn't mean you have 8 dimensions, because remember, the D stands for dimension. Well, now they've got 5D. And we're seeing more and more of it. I think I've heard of it recently in models, maybe 2 or 3 times in new models. And the consensus is, according to one of my sources and one of the in our industry, is that the 5D represents the feedback mechanism on the roller, the feedback mechanism on the roller that will sense the tightness or flaccidity of your muscles during the program. So a body scan is meant to kind of test the shape of your spine and the tightness of the muscles around your spine, ideally. But in most of the cheaper chairs, it's just measuring your shoulder and your head, so it knows where the rollers need to stop and go. But anyways, now they're saying that this feedback mechanism between the roller mechanism and the spine and the muscles of your spine is constantly happening during the course of a program, not just during a scan, but throughout the entire massage program. And some people are calling that AI, and that's probably closer to AI than a health sensor. But the 5D is now generally attributed to this feedback mechanism. Now, the Panasonic chairs have had this feedback mechanism for years. I think the Cinca and Fuji-Ryoki chairs have it on some of their models. But now we're seeing more models talking about this, like that BioVision, the Ogawa BioVision, or the Kozuya Quantum chairs like that are now saying that they have a 5D feature, which means that it has this feedback mechanism from the rollers to the spine and back. So it's constantly checking your spine as the rollers go up and down to see if it's tight or not tight, or tighter or less tight, or more flaccid as the massage goes. So, but what it's basically saying is, hey, we can measure that, and now we can adjust the pressure of the rollers based on what the feedback is from your spine, which theoretically is fantastic. It's a good idea. I don't know if that's what 5D really should mean. I don't know if that's the fifth dimension. It sounds to me more like a one-dimensional thing, because it's basically going forward and back, well, side to side. So it's basically like a two-dimensional measurement. So it's really a 2D feature, but they call it 5D. Now, I hope I'm making sense. This might seem confusing, but you're going to want to know about this as you start to see more and more of these 5D chairs. So anyways, it's basically a feedback mechanism, an electronic feedback mechanism that will measure the tightness, the tautness, the flaccidity, or the looseness of your spinal muscles, and adjust accordingly throughout the course of the program. So it sounds pretty cool, and it is a pretty cool feature. I think that feedback mechanism is fantastic. And like I say, Panasonic's had it for a number of years, and now Sync has got it, and Fuji-Ryoki, which are the Japanese chairs. And anyways, it's kind of a cool function, and we're seeing it more and more. So be aware of the term 5D. And so, but now 2D, 3D, 4D, and now 5D. And who knows when they're going to come out with 6D? And I have no idea what that means. Maybe that means that it's going to rub your scalp, or it's going to massage your quads. They're going to have something to massage the quads. So that's a different thing altogether. But who knows what they're going to come up with? But those are you're going to start seeing more and more of the 5D. So 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D. Now you've got it all explained to you. I hope that made sense. Sorry to go into it in such detail, but it's kind of a thing now. It's becoming more and more common in our industry, and you need to know about that if you're shopping for a chair, and if it's something you want to pay for. Remember, with every subsequent D that's added on to the 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, it's going to be more expensive, right? More money. So but technology becomes replicated, it becomes more pervasive in the industry, and then you'll see more and more of it, and then the pricing will come down. But just know that you're probably going to see some price equivalent price increases with each of those Ds. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please feel free to thumbs up, like us on our YouTube channel, and help us share the massage chair message with your friends and family through your social media platforms. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You've got our number, 888-259-5380. I'm Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Massage Chair Relief Live podcast. Subscribe to this podcast and be notified of each episode. Check out our main website at massagechairrelief.com for much more valuable information on the massage chair industry and marketplace.